Hello YouTube and welcome to another GV anime review, where this week I am reviewing Mikakunin de Shinkoukei, or Engaged to the Unidentified, a 2014 rom-com anime made by Dogakobo. Now, this was actually quite a difficult review to write, since it has been several months since I actually watched the anime, but because of seasonal reviews I only got to make the review now. So I want to apologize for any inconsistencies that I might tell in this video and in the following ones, since those are also animes that I watched several months ago. I know it's first world problems for an anime reviewer. The main heroine of Engaged to the Unidentified is Kobeni Yonomori, a very average high school girl who just turned 16. And on her birthday, she gets the most surprising present, being that apparently she's engaged to a guy named Hakuya Mitsumine. He and his little sister Mashiro move into the Yonomori household to start living as a family. But Hakuya and Mashiro have a secret, which will make this a lot more challenging. When I thought back on Engaged to the Unidentified, I remembered that at the time, this anime had a quite unique premise. I had not seen an anime before where the main male and the main female were forced upon each other, and I have seen quite a fair share of romance animes. Therefore, to me, the romance in this anime was strange, but strange in a good way. Because of Engaged to the Unidentified not following the standard romance pattern where one of the two main characters immediately falls in love with the other, the development of the romance was different. At the start of this anime, I don't even know if there was romance or romantic feelings between Kobeni and Hakuya. We know that Hakuya really cares for Kobeni because of what we learn later in the anime, but if he really loves her at the beginning, or does all of this just out of a sense of duty, remains unknown. So the story of falling in love with a complete stranger was new to me, and the fact that Engaged to the Unidentified was a romance anime that for once did not use the standard love triangle made this story a little bit more special. And the development of the romance concluded in the final episode, which is my second positive point. And it is a positive point solely because of the different kind of romance. Because this ending misses some of the major milestones in romance animes. Read things like confession, kiss, and that sort of events. Engaged to the Unidentified does not have these milestones in its story or its ending, and usually that pisses me off because I don't get conclusion on my romance. I remember reviewing another shoujo romance anime where I waited 26 episodes for something to happen in the final episode, and it didn't, and I was pretty pissed off about that. But here in Engaged to the Unidentified, I felt different because the romance had come such a long way since the start. We did not start out with one character loving the other, we started out with two complete strangers being forced upon each other. And two final positive points of this anime were the animation, which vivid and vibrant coloring elevated the character of this anime, and the characters themselves. In my opinion, Dogakobo did a great job at creating some fun and entertaining characters. Kobeni is a really sweet girl, she's the type of yandere that you know I am a fan of. Hakuya is that type of male character that seems apathetic, but you know that he really cares about others, and he does get into action when he needs to. Mashiro is most likely the most famous character of this anime, delivering the essential cuteness factor, and also together with Benio, the main deliverer of comedy in Engaged to the Unidentified. Now, one thing that I wanted to have explained, or at least put more focus on, is who Hakuya and Mashiro actually are. We never learn who or what they are, but it's clear that they're not entirely human. And it's just the same with this power of Mashiro, which she uses a few times during the anime. We don't get to see her use it, nor do we know what it actually is. And despite the ending being more fitting for the development of the romance in this anime, there are still a lot of things that haven't been concluded in terms of the romance. Now, the manga of Engaged to the Unidentified is still ongoing, with roughly one chapter coming out every month. But I learned that the anime and the manga are quite different. The anime shifted certain scenes from the manga to other points, so that certain events are shown much earlier than in the original manga. So you would basically have to start all over again and read the manga from the beginning if you want to read the story in the right order. So as a conclusion, I call Engaged to the Unidentified a feel-good anime. It doesn't have a deep storyline, the characters aren't very complex, and this is just an anime that you can lay back and enjoy. That's what I felt when watching this anime. So overall, I found this anime to be funny and cute, and as I said, a feel-good anime. And I'm going to rate Engaged to the Unidentified at 3.5 out of 5 stars. If you're in for a relaxed romance anime, then I advise checking this one out. Based on the theme of two people basically being forced to be a couple, I advise watching this season's Koito Uso or Love and Lies. Also here we have a couple who's being forced into marriage, but here it's a tad more complex since the main male is in love with someone else. I am really enjoying this series this season, so I advise picking it up. But if you want to watch a romance anime without any love triangles or trouble, just like Engaged to the Unidentified, I advise watching Ore Monogatari or My Love Story. This is a romance anime that's as shoujo and as pure flowery romance as you can find. So it's a definite recommendation for the fans of the pure romance genre. And with that I conclude my review of Engaged to the Unidentified. As usual, you can find the full list of all my animes and reviews over at Anime Planet. As usual, I will put a link in the description box down below. Now if you want me to review a particular anime from this list, please put it in the comments. Also, if you have a recommendation for me, put it in the comments as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, visit me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and subscribe to this channel for more reviews in the future. Then I will say arigatou gozaimasu and I will see you all in the next video.